very warm welcome to the Real Talk, hoping that your day is going well once again at Christmas time. And for the rest of the year, I'll be putting this on during the start of the program and later on when we're concluding, because I need you to remember that this season is here. I hope all is going on well for you. My name is Jackie Lumbasi. Today I have the great pleasure of sitting down with a superstar, a gifted man who has had his hand touch on some of the biggest hits in the country, and I've always looked forward to having a conversation with him. I'm so humbled that he spared time for us. We're at Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kiyovu. Let's meet our guests. Thank you for joining us. We're live on RTV and live on YouTube. Please do share the link so that we have as many people as possible join the conversation. Our guest is Clement Ishimwe. Clement, it is a beautiful thing to see you.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. You're not a very easy man to find.
You know, you always try to connect in the wrong time. I'm not that busy.
The wrong time, no. Clement, it's been 4 months of me chasing.
Been
My
traveling
goodness.
now and then.
Yeah, you've been very busy. Thank you for joining us. Clement, you're a big-time producer, CEO. For those who don't know, I didn't mention this, is the CEO of Kina Music. We will get into that. Before we get there, let's go back to where it all started. Where does your story begin? Where were you born? What kind of childhood did you have? It always gives us an idea of the journey you've traversed to get here today.
So you had me scared when you introduced me as a superstar. I don't feel like one. But I was born in Kigali, Nyarugenge precisely, Nyamirambo. So my background is, as
you're a city born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and as many people know, Nyamirambo is like the heart of,
it's the heart of Kigali.
So
yeah,
music, good vibes.
Good vibes.
So basically, that's how everything
no
is going to come to life. So yeah, I started as a piano player. Then from there, I started also composing later on in my high school days. Then writing songs, composing, directing choirs. Beautiful. Then after that, it turned into an engineer in the studio, producing music for...
Let me take you back. So when you're born in Nyamirambo, there's lots of music and probably studios around.
Yeah.
But how about at home? Your family, were they musical in nature? Were you exposed to that piano at home?
Yes, yes. Because they're Christians, so it's easy to get connected to choirs and all those things. So I was lucky to have a professional teacher, piano teacher, when I was really young, at 7, I think.
Oh, nice.
So that's how young I started. Then from there, it kept growing. So studios from... I did IT in high school and also university, so I had a computer at home. That's how I started.
From a very early age.
Yeah, started connecting things, speakers for my dad and everything. Yeah. And I had a mic, and my dad also used to sell music equipment. So he kind of connected. Every time he would go import stuff, he would bring, a microphone here, a sound card there. That's how I, started connecting things. And later on with internet, and started finding things out.
That's amazing. You're a planned kid. I think that's what they call it.
No. There's no
You seem to have had a very good childhood.
Nyamirambo guys would kill me, but there's no planned kid in Nyamirambo. There's no planned kid in Nyamirambo.
I think out of all the Nyamirambo kids, you're the most planned one.
No. I don't feel like one.
I love that. Yeah. And so you did lots of these things when you're still young, school-going age.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any memorable occasion from your childhood? Something that still stands out until now?
No, I started producing when I was really young. When I think my first song, I was probably 16. And all the guys I was producing were like older than me. So they could tell me, let's go to radio, have interviews. I was like, what am I going to talk about? Who wants to listen to a 16-year-old, boy? And
so even at 16, the music you would produce was good.
Like it would give you saying it yourself, it sounds really, I'm bragging about myself, but there are songs I produced at that age that people might I recognized, like a song called Imyaka Itatu by Casanova. I was probably 16 or 17 by then. Yeah, it was a big hit then.
So at what point did you register a business, start a label, Kina Music?
In 2008, I got a chance to get trained in Costa Rica for a year on music production. So I got exposed to how things run elsewhere. So when I thought about how in Rwanda we are struggling getting money, in the studio I was like, my artists would come and I would tell them, you know, you have to pay me for the work I'm doing for you.
And give them some little amount?
Yeah, you know, and they were still students. They would start crying because they have no money and I have no money too. I was like, okay, what do we do? Now from there I was like, why don't we put our talents together? You know, you can sing, I can produce music. Then I produce for you. We promote the music. Once we start getting, you know, requests for shows and everything, we start making, we share what comes. That's how the whole idea came. Yeah. And the business, Kina Music, was registered legally in 2010. Yeah. Yeah, so it has been 14 years now.
Amazing. Is Tom Close one of the people that you started with? Because when I had an interview with him, he said he would leave university, come down to Kigali, make very many trips. He talks about performing for free. You know, you were there with him at that time.
He later on joined Kina Music, but when he actually started when I was abroad. Okay. So when I came back, most of the artists I worked with also had traveled abroad. So I met him after coming back.
After coming back, yes. Yeah. He was the guy you were going to try on everything.
Yeah, everyone was telling me there are new guys now, you know, who I didn't know. And when I came back, I get to connect with him and others like the band, who started in 2008-9 there. So yeah.
You saw him off when he was starting. You know, right now, a lot of, and this question I got from one of your biggest fans, he said I should ask you this. There are lots of producers that keep switching from one trend to the other trend. They go with what is heating. And now it's Amapiano, but for some reason you're stuck to your style. What is the secret? Why aren't you swayed by the current trends?
First of all, later I want to ask you who's the fan. I'm surprised I have even fans.
Gosh, do you know how many you have?
Of my music. But anyways,
you have a lot of fans.
Rwandans have their own way of like appreciating music. So I think really if you listen to Rwandan R&B or Rwandan reggae, you would know. It's just that
it will be different from a
Kenyan, or you know, or Jamaican. Yeah. So that thing, it doesn't have necessarily to have a Rwandan traditional instrument. No, the way we sing, the way it's phrased, you know, you can tell. Zouk from Rwanda and from Haiti or elsewhere, it's different. So that's why I felt like I need to still stay true to myself and produce what I feel like is good music to me. It doesn't matter if, you know, you don't like this one today, you might like the one I produced 10 years ago or you like the next one. So that's what have been driving me. Also with the artists I produce. We've tried to like keep what we think is good music for us, you know. It doesn't mean that others are not.
You set your own standard and you're sticking to that.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. How would you say the industry has changed, considering when you compare where you were back then, whether it's in the attitude of the artists, the fans, the general environment? What's your
it's like day and night. You know, it's starting from where you're asking money to artists and they can't afford to pay some little money for production, and now you have people making a living out of music.
Yes. And
even the mindsets, you know, very expensive music videos.
Expensive videos, yeah.
And also the mindsets of the audience.
Of the audience, yeah, that too.
Who used to think that we are doing it because we felt, you know, in everything else.
In everything else.
So we are running to, you know, you are running to music just because, you know, we can't do anything. Exactly. Yeah. So most of us actually did
You did well.
study,
Here you are. You studied
and to prove that, you know, we are not out of options. You know, we have doctors, we have engineers, we have people with masters in different fields.
Yeah. So you wanted to work hard and make sure you change.
Yeah, it was actually something we discussed in Kina Music, and we were like, we need to, you know, to prove, because it was a major change, you know. shift from thinking these musicians are just, drug addicts, failed
Exactly.
at everything in life.
And at that time, they would say, we'll even give them anything. They'll come and perform. They're just looking for money for alcohol after.
So when someone comes to your office and they're like, this artist actually is better educated than you.
Oh, man.
They might do the work you're doing, but you can't do the work they're doing. That's how it started shifting from, these guys are doing it for...
I love that so much.
Yeah. So, I mean, we had no other option. And we also tried to learn how to do business, because
you had to monetize
we don't have entertainment lawyers here. We don't have basically everything, finances, everything.
Talent managers. We didn't have those.
Me, I'm a simple musician, but I had to to know how to draft contracts, to know how to do finance, to know how tax. All those stuff, because no one else would do it for us. So we're like, we need to even the way we dress. If I come in your office wearing earrings everywhere, tattoos everywhere, I'll be like, if I give him money, he will run out of.
That's true.
So we had also to, if myself I'm coming to your office as a manager, it's different from the artist coming. Me, I need to look
a certain way.
And the artist need to look a certain way.
Yes, because your roles are different.
Yeah, I mean, it's not being judgmental, but that's how the society is.
And I'm glad that you're saying this honestly.
I'm being honest here. We had to find a way to adjust and adapt to what the society.
What do you consider before you bring someone in and you have these conversations with them? Because there are also times when you have an idea of where you want to take them, but if they're not willing to be taken there, they'll make you work hard. So what do you consider as you're recruiting someone into the label?
Two things mainly. It's funny that the two things, talent is not there, but the first thing is discipline and the hunger someone has to achieve
whatever they have come to achieve.
And the talent,
you will work on that.
Yeah, if you have a little talent somewhere that can,
you will build it into something big. Yeah,
because most of the times you have some really talented people who are not disciplined and who are not focused and determined to go and you just spoil their talent.
There's something, I'm trying to structure the words, but I cannot remember them too well, but it's something about talent and hard work. That there are times when there's somebody who's extremely talented, but if they don't work hard, they will be nothing. And then someone who's not talented works hard. Yeah. Exactly, and they thrive. What goes through your mind when you're working on a project? Because again, your hits become hits. Like, you put your hand on something, it blows up into something big. What is the thought process? What kind of investment do you make in ensuring that this job you do, this song you're producing, becomes a hit?
So you can't predict these things. Because sometimes you're like, this is the one. And when it comes out, it's like no one saw even, that it came out. So it's unpredictable, but there are a few main things you have to put together. First of all, believe yourself that you've done something nice. Because sometimes we are, like the question you asked earlier, you're influenced by what others are doing, and you do it because you want to fit in.
Yeah.
And yourself, you don't believe that, it's good enough. But you're like, it's what's trending now.
It's what people want.
So that reason,
it's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
Yeah.
So it should be, I'm enjoying this song, I love it. Then you put it out there for everyone to feel the same way you felt when you were playing it back in the studio.
Yes, before you released it.
Yeah, so for me, that's the main goal when I'm trying to release a song, because if I don't buy it myself, I don't believe someone else will buy it. Because, it's like selling something you're not convinced that,
you won't consume.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And when is your work easier? Is it when somebody comes to you and says, I have this ready-made product, I can sing, and I have written a song? Or when they come to you and say, do everything for me. I'm bringing you the voice, give me the lyrics, whatever.
So for me, actually, it will be easier because it's like producing for someone, it's like you go to a tailor, they know, they looked at you, they know, what suits you and what. So I know exactly what to do for you. So that's why actually for me, I tend to produce mostly the artists I work with, because I know them. I know where their potential, and I know where the weakness is. So I know exactly what to give to them and what not to.
If they're punching above their weight, you will know.
Yeah, like, yeah.
If they are giving less than they actually should, you will know.
And they might do something different from what I think from another producer, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I prefer looking at you and I'm like, I think this is what would fit you.
Yeah. Have you ever had a scenario where somebody came looking for you because you're a sought-after producer? And I believe that every artist, what they're sold to, don't associate with your label. Have you had a scenario where you've told someone, no, maybe you're not one I want to associate with?
So many times.
Okay.
So many times. I wouldn't, tell them exactly that,
But you will
but
find
I find
a way.
a politically correct way to,
You'll
to
make
say
yourself
it, I make myself busy, or just say, my style is quite different from yours,
But in actual sense, what would it be? In actual sense, I'm asking these questions that anyone who wants to work with you will start working on themselves, and maybe in the next 2 years they will qualify. So what is it that would really discourage you from working with someone?
For me, the first thing that discouraged me is when I see in you that you're hungry for fame, not for music. So if what motivates you is like being known, you're going everywhere, everyone is calling your name, or producing good music and making money out of it. Because for me, if it has reached at a point where if the music is good, we have to make money out of it. If we can't make money out of it, let's jam at home together, have fun, and we keep it there. But if you want to do it, let's find a way to make money out of it.
So when you realize that someone does not have that kind of drive, you will stay away.
Yeah, because most of the times when you're driven by fame, it tends to have this certain unbalance between the fame you have and the income you're earning, and you find someone. The picture they portray there is like this big, but when you go in behind the curtains,
misery.
That's the exact word I was looking for.
Oh gosh. Okay, so some of the big people that some of the people you work with, they're big artists. I love them. I love your wife very much.
Thank you.
She's one of my favorite artists. So you've got her, Butera. You've got Platini. He's another good guy. Tom Close. Some of these people. Nel Ngabo, young man as well.
Recent signee also.
Recent signee,
Zubaray.
I love that. Yeah. Whether you've worked with them, I don't know that you'll want to mention those names, but which one would you say has been the most amazing work experience? It could be one
now you want to get me into trouble now.
I want to get someone out of the
I'm
level.
going back to work after this. So now if I start mentioning names, I might
you might just lose your people.
Might be in trouble. Like, hey, Kumbe, it's like you don't feel okay when I'm working with you.
Oh, so man, I know. Find a politically correct way of
there are qualities each and every one of them have that I appreciate, when I'm with Platini, he's a positive vibe. The energy is like really high, up there. Yeah. And Nel Ngabo is a really hardworking guy. Like you tell him I have something in my head at 3 a.m. he will just show up. You don't know how he gets there. Wow. And Butera, my wife, is she's a hardworking. She never she's like she pushes even where you're like you feel like she's like she's there. So yeah, everyone has their.
Beautiful. And I'm glad you say that, especially about her, because somebody could be out there and they're thinking she is what she is, who she is because of her husband. But you're actually saying she puts in the work.
Let me tell you, if you don't have that, even if you have the whole world backing you up, there's nothing that would happen. Because at the end of the day, she is the face of the of the artist. Because she is the product.
Yeah, she is the product.
So however much you want to sell a product, if the product itself is not good enough,
it won't be sold.
So yeah, she puts in. You can't be in the music business for more than 10 years.
Just because you're married to a producer.
I'm pushing some button somewhere. No. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah. We will be back. We're taking a short break. We will be back. I am happy about this conversation. I always look for an opportunity to have this chat with Clement. He is the CEO and founder of Kina Music. A lot of great artists have gone through his hands, and so today we just get to find out about him. It's only the beginning, but we'll certainly have him back here for another conversation. Thank you for joining us. We will be back in a bit. This is The Real Talk. We're at Mythos Boutique Hotel. Welcome back. This is The Real Talk. We are live on YouTube and live on RTV. Share that YouTube link and have as many people join the conversation. Clement is online. I will be online. You can follow us on the different social media platforms and let us interact. If you have any questions, send them. We will respond to them. We want to say a big thank you to Mythos Boutique Hotel for hosting us. They've got some packages for this season. Go to their social media pages to acclimatize and possibly to visit them. I have another friend who sent a question. He said that there's one group that you are closest to, Clement, Dream Boys.
Yes.
The question was, this is Constante, and he said, the other question was coming from Olivier, one of your biggest fans. Then Constante is also a fan. And so he says, one of the groups that you're closest to, Dream Boys, separated. How did that make you feel? And did it have an impact, or did it affect the industry, their separation?
It made me feel sad, but in a very short period, because I kept Platini,
Then you moved on,
you know,
because you kept Platini.
you know, and but also the impact was felt in the industry, because now we don't have boy bands. I think I think that.
By the way.
Yeah, I think that was the last time we did, and the impact was really big. But they are my closest friends, even up to now, because the more I work with artists, we become more of a family than anything. So I'm always in touch with TMC, even though he's in the US now.
Yeah.
Platini is like a brother to me. He lives.
After you see each other,
I
actually
can
live
throw
close to
stones
each other.
to his compound if he's not working out for the studio session.
Oh my goodness, it's that close.
Yeah, so he's like a brother to me. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Your love story. Well, I wouldn't let you leave without me asking this. So you met somebody, you start working together, and then I thought colleagues were never supposed to date. Did you date while working together, or was it before? Tell me how that love story unfolded.
The wrong person to. When you host my wife, then ask her all those questions.
I will get your version.
What I will tell you is we met actually earlier than that, because we went to the same high school. I was in higher class.
Yes.
But we are in the same school, same choir.
Beautiful.
So we basically know each other like way
back.
before that. Yeah. I was surprised when she started singing on her own, because I knew her as a very shy person, and I was shocked that she could sing. Later on, you know how the story ended. It ended with
the rest is history.
3 beautiful girls now.
I love that. Yeah. When did she start singing when you were together, or before?
No, she started like a year or 2 earlier. Yeah.
Okay. So how is it balancing being her husband, the father of her children, and her manager? The mathematics involved.
Yeah. It's not the easy part of the of the business, but we try to keep it professional. When we have a studio at home, so there's when we are going to the studio, we are leaving the
house.
You're leaving the marriage certificate
at home.
In the living room, then there I'll be the producer, you'll be the singer, and that's it.
The language changes.
It changes, and the fun also,
the way it's different from the fun you have as a couple.
It's different. Artists are sometimes crazy. The stories they have in the studio and everything, we don't want to lose that. So we're like, let's have fun. The same way we do with everyone else. Yeah. And most of the times we are also with friends, the Platinis and all that. So the vibe is always.
How do you deal with the pressure of both of you being famous? Because fame comes with its challenges.
Yeah.
Especially when it's 2 people working together, married, and then you're both out here. You belong to us.
Most of the people had gave us the honeymoon. I think we've done well so
they
far.
Told you
you only make it for the first 3 weeks, and now we've gone what, 8 years now.
Wow.
So yeah, the pressure is trust me, is crazy. You have people now with social media has given power to everyone behind their keyboards.
People think they even know you better than you know each other.
I actually enjoy the stories sometimes. They are talking about you and they're like,
yeah.
This
so
is
these people have broken up.
worth of Netflix.
You watch the movie.
You know, I would. You know, they're like they say stories about you, about everyone, even about your kids.
They do. In fact,
people are, like for us, in fact, we've decided to keep our kids out of social media and everything.
I don't see them.
And I saw that becoming a problem. for
Why
some people.
Them?
I'm like, you could make yours if you
yeah, please,
and post them
if
anytime
you want. Children online, you could actually make yours and post them.
They can still adopt or make, and I'm like, how does not posting my kid become someone else's problem?
Yeah. Is there a time you'd say probably in the last 8 years there was this shake-up caused by the work that you both do, or some external force or whatever? In the 8 years, I've experienced a scenario where because of your jobs, you said, man, this marriage.
I would say that with kids, there are things that, you're like, okay, we didn't think about this one, now we need to sit down and rethink. Because you're like, okay, now with the kid realizing, why is everyone calling you on the road going to school? Why when I come to school, everyone is like, now is when they start, now the older one, she knows everything. She knows what I do. She knows what the mom do. But the young ones, they have funny stories when they discover, hey,
who the parents are.
Yeah, so you can sing. Now they, for some reason, I don't know who told them, they said, I have only one song, but mom has, 100. Like, what's wrong? Are you this lazy? I'm like, yeah, the song I have, they are the only lullabies I sing for you.
They have no idea who their father is. Oh, that's beautiful. I guess I'll have to invite Butera over. Please send my love to her and tell her that the invitation is coming. Yeah. Where do you see the industry in the next 10 years? When you sit back and look at it, where do you see the industry going? And do you see your role changing, or will it remain the same?
It's really looking good for artists and the creative industry in general, because now Rwanda is like taking it as a serious contributor to the economy, which hasn't been the case for the past so many years.
That's true. Yeah.
We are actually the first generation to do music professionally, like to make a living out of. There's no any other generation before us that used to live out of music.
And it's because you were intentional about it. Yeah, as you said, the many things that you sat down and discussed.
I'm receiving so much flowers today.
I
need someone to carry
receive them. You deserve them.
So I think it's really positive. And with the support now, we have really young people in the, policy makers and everything. I think it's looking really good. And how Rwanda is positioning itself as a hub for entertainment, sports, and all that. It goes meetings and everything. It goes hand in hand. And I really think in the future, because I believe we have talented artists in Rwanda. They can easily break anywhere in the world. So I think really in the coming next 10 years, we might have some of the biggest artists in Africa and in the world. Why not?
Yeah. And then I've been asked, you've supported both young and young upcoming and experienced artists. How do you support talent? That's the question. I don't know if you have a formula.
We used to do auditions. That's where Christopher came from. That's where Nell Ngabo came from. Now recently we've tried to work with the Nyundo Music School. Because
And you do teach at that school?
Yeah, I used to now.
Oh, you used to.
I
No,
actually
you
stopped,
don't.
I think, this year.
Oh, okay.
But I have so many producers now that are coming that I saw in my class.
Beautiful.
There's actually the next song for my wife was produced by one of my students.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, I was really happy to see that, you know, I at least contributed something, you know, for the next generation of producers.
That's good.
Yeah. So yeah.
If you were to change something, what would it be? If there's one thing that you could improve or change in the music industry, what would that be?
I would change both on the first on the audience. Pay artists, you know. They work really hard.
They work hard.
If you have an artist, if you have an event, you have your company or anything else where you're working from, you have an event, just call one artist, pay them well.
Pay them. We call them, but you know the first thing we say, you know, as my friend, can you do something?
Know,
that's how the call
and you
starts.
know how many, you know, the people will be here, you know, exposure and all those, you know, kind of stuff.
We should stop that.
Let's stop that.
Yeah.
And now also regarding artists, let's also give people the reason to pay us.
Yes. Value for their
for
money.
their money. Because sometimes they call you, you come at 10, you're there at noon.
Yeah.
You know what?
And then your performance
and
is
your performance is, you know,
horrible, because sometimes maybe you even
exactly.
drunk before you came.
Yeah. Or you come tired, you know, rushing
tired.
and you can't sing.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it goes both ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. That's a good response. And then as the end, what should we expect from you in the new year?
In the new year?
Yes, and you can just touch on it. I will still have you back next year to tell me about the year.
In the new year, we actually, I told you, we just launched a new artist.
Yes.
So she only released her first song.
What's her name?
Zuba Ray.
Zuba Ray.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she has one song. We producing more next year. We hope to have Butera's concert. Big concert next year. We want to have also Neranga's big concert, because he hasn't done his own concert yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
He hasn't. And it is amazing. He's quite talented.
He has been producing hits after hits.
He has, yes, and he's really loved. I look forward to having all three of them here next year.
Yeah.
Yes. Clement, thank you. We're going to finish with 6 Qs, a quick one. Thank you for joining us on The Real Talk. I hope that you've loved listening to Clement. He's amazing. As you can see, you have seen his work. It actually goes before him. You'll get to know of him through his work before you meet him as a person. It's a pleasure to sit down with him. We're looking at 6 Qs, and then we will be done with The Real Talk. Thank you so much for joining us. The Real Talk is the show. Our guest is Clement Ishimwe. He is a producer and founder of Kina Music. Question number 1. What word best describes you? A single word.
Discipline.
Discipline. I love that. What do you hate about your job?
Long nights.
Long nights. And there are quite many, eh?
Yeah.
What do you drink to keep you awake at night?
Tea, just tea.
Tea, coffee?
I don't drink
You don't drink?
at all. Yeah.
At all, at all?
Yeah.
Never ever touched
Never.
alcohol? Fantastic.
For me, it's tea.
Tea.
Yeah.
And then, what would you say is the biggest achievement out of your career?
Being able to change people's lives. Few I've worked with, you know, I've seen guys starting from zero and becoming, you know, some
Making
really good
your
artists. Yeah,
contribution.
small contribution to that.
Yeah. What is your favorite dish?
Favorite dish? That'll be rice. Something, you know.
Rice with sombe, rice with beef.
The rest can change, but
rice is a constant.
It has to be the,
I love that. So there's this quote that you have on your social media. There was a time when we weren't here, and there'll be a time when we will no longer be here. What legacy do you wish to leave behind, Clement?
You know, that there's someone who used to be here who just contributed to like changing people's lives and, you know, making them happier. You know, if they listen to my music and they dance to it, the rest, you know.
That's what you celebrate. That's your legacy. That's your story.
Yeah.
And what would you say to your younger self, your 20-year-old Clement?
I'll tell him that, we tried. And we did something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you didn't sleep your dreams away.
I didn't smoke it.
You didn't smoke it away. Neither did you drink it away.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Okay, and lastly, that cow that the president gave you, what is the story?
I'm actually from seeing it.
From seeing it?
I told you.
How is it? I said I have to ask that question.
So, doing very well.
Yeah.
And
did you expect the cow to come? Did you expect the call to come and you're being hosted at the president's home?
Like,
yes. How did it happen?
Who am I to
Who are
you?
That is the moment you ask yourself, who
am I? That's why I felt like I've done it,
Please,
what do you do after that, It's like...
I can imagine.
Yeah, when I go, I sit down and look at the cow, I'm like, dang,
The story behind
did it happen, really,
Yeah. That is so powerful, Clement, because all you've done is just do your work, have fun while you're doing your work, make people happy as you do it, and you got noticed. Imagine.
For me, that's the biggest achievement I could wish for.
Yeah.
Knowing that someone not at that level could notice your work. It's what else could you ask for? Yeah.
Your final word, Clement, as you look into this microphone, what is it you'd love to say as your parting shot? Sorry, at the microphone, camera.
I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and looking forward to giving you more music next year, more concerts. Hope to see you in our concerts next year and enjoying our music more. Thank you.
Thank you, Clement.
You're welcome.
I've enjoyed myself, and I hope you will be back.
I will.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for honoring my invitation. This has been a wonderful conversation, the real talk. I hope that it has left you with something. It's made you happy. He's a happy man, and he just wants you to be happy. If there's anything I want you to take out of this program, it's that. And happiness is contagious. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. God bless you. We'll see you next week.